Hello, hello, hello. Of course, I got my alarm going off. Hold on a second, guys. Uh, I was taking care of a few things, and then my alarm my alarm goes off. Um, and I couldn't get it till just now because I went to the bathroom first. Um, how you guys doing? It's weird, man. My counter says 0, right? And I know you guys are in there, right? So that's 3 of you. So this thing is just crazy. Hey, Clutch, how you doing, buddy? I was gonna have Stephanie on tonight, but um, her husband's not feeling too well, and so prayers for him. And so, hey, Amanda, yay! I haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time here. Good to see you. Oh, hey, Vader. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen her in a little bit. It'd be nice to see her. And sometimes I put out like text messages to people I haven't seen in a while, and be cool to see them. But I'll tell you what, working with people is not an easy thing, and not to complain, right? But sometimes when you tell somebody something that would help them get better, they look at you like you're crazy, man, like that you're accusing them of something or whatever. And you're like, well, no, I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just saying it would be better if you did this because then people would react to you better, I think. You know what I mean? But like sometimes what is like glaringly obvious to everybody is not obvious to the person. And I'm really need help. Pray for me to help me be more sensitive, to say things in a more sensitive way, I guess, because I definitely don't want to insult anybody, and I just want to offer support. And here's the thing, right? Like even if I give somebody some advice and they don't take it, I'm not offended by that. I like you guys exactly the way you are. Even the people that are hard to love. I love everybody the exact same. I mean, it's nice to see people grow. Some people more than others. Some people have gone through some tough stuff with me and have grown a lot. And I've grown a lot from it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. Like there's a little contention, it blows up, the balloon pops, right? And then it's like, oh, I see what you mean. I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I need to be more sensitive. Well, yeah, Clutch. I mean, I know you say I'm sensitive enough, but sometimes and thank you for saying that, because I do feel like I am, right? But like, I'm never at a point where I think I can't be better. And yeah. Oh, well, that's it's nice of you to say, Clutch. I just don't know what to do sometimes, because it's hurtful to me, man. It's hurtful to me that that anybody would have problems with other people and then blame me for that. It's hurtful, because I'm trying to be a friend to like comfort somebody or whatever, and then it's like it's my fault because I'm the one that's there. And that's hard, man, sometimes, to be honest. And especially like, I mean, some people from my past, right? There's been some people from my past like that um they would say like the whole world is wrong, and 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 they are somehow right, you know. And it's like it's like, well, if that's the position you're taking, right, then then obviously, then I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. We could do a flat earth show if you want. I could do a flat earth show because I've had a cancellation in who was supposed to be on tonight. We could do a walk into my flat earth, uh how I got introduced to it, and how, because I fought it. I was mad at flat earth, man. Not to the point where I was going to be like a lying snake like some of these globies are, right? But like to the point where I definitely rejected it. I didn't like it. And then after a while I was like, oh man, this thing could be true, you know? And then I started getting excited, like I wanted it to be true, you know? After I knew that it wasn't ridiculous, and that now I understood that the people lying to me were the people telling me that I was flying around on a space ball, and that made me want to be against those people, you know. And then when I learned, right, that the Earth was flat, like I talked to you guys about it, but I didn't open my mouth to another like human being in the real world for a year. I was afraid to say it, right? I didn't want to sound crazy, you know. And so it's just very interesting, you know. And so hey, make it your home. How you doing? Welcome. And so yeah, it was a wild awakening. This flat Earth, man, was just wild, man. Because you don't think, because like it's like everything you're taught when you're a kid, right? You're like, okay, I'm taught about outer space and dinosaurs, right? And evolution, and I come from a monkey, right? They tell me I'm a really smart monkey. You know, they even give you an art project. Can you draw a monkey? You know, I mean, it's sick when you think about it now, right? Because it's evil, right? But at the time when you're a kid, you're like having fun, right? You're like, oh man, I'm gonna draw a monkey, and I come from I'm a I come from that monkey family or whatever. My great grand monkey, you know. That's just so sick, man. It's so sick. And then they teach you about rocket ships, and people flew to the moon, and yeah, man. Right, what's on the other side of a basketball? Yeah. It's nighttime on the other side of the ball, you know? No, you're right though, Luke. If you can see it, right? The sun high up above the horizon, right? In the daytime. I mean, the moon high up above the horizon in the daytime. That debunks the whole heliocentric model. That alone, because there would be no moon on the other side, right? Well, there are people on the other side that see the moon. So unless there's two moons, right, that debunks the whole thing. Because you're right. If you're seeing the moon high above the horizon, then they wouldn't be seeing the moon. That's right. There'd be physical obstruction from curvature of the earth. I mean, it's geometry. You can't see the moon through the ball, right? And so, yeah. And you know what? I think we've been seeing. I think we've been seeing the moon in the daytime a lot more recently than we ever have before. Because when I was a kid, it was rare. You know, like, ooh, look, the moon in the day. It was, I don't know. It seemed like it was rare. You know, but you know, now you see it all the time, right? Dee Dee says, Steve and I made my teacher get angry because I said, if we evolved from monkeys, why are the monkeys still evolving? She flipped her lip at that question. I bet. Yeah, because there would still be people coming out of monkeys every day. Like, oh, okay, you're with us now. You know, you're a people now. Like you know what I mean? Like, okay, you can't like, but what? Like, this is my question, right? The first human that comes out of a monkey, right? He's got to wait for another human female to come out of the monkeys, you know, before he can have someone to marry, right? Like, what's preventing him from going back in with the monkeys? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying, right? Like, like, how does he know to wait? You know, or you know what I mean? Because like you get these questions right in school, like which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? But that's obviously the chicken came first, right? Because you need a male and female chicken, rooster and a chicken to make a fertilized egg, right? I mean, it's obvious the animal has to come first, right? But they make it sound like it's some kind of riddle, like which came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. The chicken came from the egg, and then the chicken made the egg. I don't know, you know. But they leave out the male part of that, right? They leave out the they leave out the daddy chicken, you know. So you can't have an egg that's gonna give birth to a chicken without a daddy egg, a daddy chicken. That's crazy, man. Like it would be like the virgin chicken birth, you know. Like the like the miracle chicken messiah. And so like the world is just crazy, right? They make it sound like there's all these riddles and tongue twisters that aren't really there, right? And so the more you learn these lies, right, and unravel them, right, and the more you think about things that you thought were the way, you know, you think they're one way, but then the more you scrutinize it, you know, which we never do as humans, right? I mean, I didn't scrutinize that chicken or the egg thing till I was in my late 30s, you know. I thought that was a riddle, you know, like, ooh, that is interesting. Which one did come first, you know? But when you scrutinize it finally, then you realize, wow, man, these people are sick, man. That they lie to you, man, about these things, and you don't question it because you believe them, you trust them, right? It's natural in us to trust. And you know, there's so many people that don't have any empathy, right? So many people out there that don't feel for other people's feelings, right? Like we do, that you know, they don't care. You know, I think my chat is frozen. The rooster came first. How? But yeah, but then how did the rooster come? Oh yeah, I guess I don't know. Now that would be a question. That would be a good one. No, 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 no. That's not a bad joke. That would actually be a good question, right? Which came first, the male or the female chicken? Now there we go. That would be because then there's no way to know, right? Only God knows that. God and Adam, I guess. No, that's a good quote. Which came first, the chicken or the rooster? That would be a good one. Or maybe it was just two little baby chicks, you know? Who knows? You never know. I don't know. Adam named all the animals like in a day, so like he must have been like super smart, coming up with all these names and remembering them. That's what makes me think that, like, you know, we're a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, you know, and because the world says we are evolving, right? We're probably devolving, right? The law of you know, inversion, right? And so um we're probably the worst like version of a human being, you know. I mean, I hate to say it like that, right? But maybe human beings didn't have to rely on technical devices to have all the information in there. Like maybe they just knew all that stuff because they were smart and they didn't have any need for an iPhone, you know? Because they say, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, right? It says some new age even pushes evolution, saying monkeys took magic mushrooms and got smarter. Yeah, no, hey man, for sure, man. There's always going to be some kind of, because even evolution, right? To believe evolution to be true, right? There's no way that DNA can get better. The only way DNA can get better is if there's uh, some type of uh, what do we call it? Man, what do we? Okay, wait. So what were like Wolverine and all them? Uh, they were they're not freaks, man. What were they called? There's got to be some kind of oh man, I can't remember what it's called now. I'll remember when I'm not thinking about it. You know, like the X-Men. What were they? They weren't freaks or anything. They were something else. They were called something else. The X-Men. I don't know. My chat is frozen or something. Either of you guys aren't chatting. Oh, it was on the tip of my tongue. I was on my tip of my tongue to remember it, but then I forgot it again. Oh man, that sucks. Unless somebody types in what they are, I won't know. But yeah. Oh, what's it called? What are they called? Mutant. There has to be a mutation. There has to be a mutation that's beneficial to the DNA. That's what it is. Thank you, Gaining Wisdom. Thank you, Gaining Wisdom. There has to be a mutation that is beneficial to the DNA, meaning that some freak accident doesn't just add like a third leg or anything like that. It gives you better sight. Like the mutation is beneficial. And so there has to be beneficial mutations to the DNA all the way through up to from an amoeba all the way to a human being is what they're saying. Which that alone, right, is ridiculous to think about. How many times that these these mutations, right, have to be beneficial and not bring you backwards, right? And then not only that, right? Thank you, Gaining Wisdom. And not only that, but oh, hello, by the way. Not only do we got to get lucky in all those ways, but think about this, right? Like, if we do come from monkeys, right? Then why am I a worse animal? Like what? Like okay, smarter, okay, yeah, but like why can't I lift the front of a car? Like even one of those little skinny monkeys, man, are strong, man. Like an orangutan, I mean, it doesn't look that strong, but that's strong as hell, man. They could probably put 500 pounds over their head, you know? It's crazy, man. What do I know what's called? Oh yeah, let me go hear what you're saying. Just hold on. So new okay. I think you're right. Funny joke by the way. Movies Luke, movies it's it's off of very interesting as it gives you a lot to think about. Oh, you're talking about a movie. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what's going on in our world, man. And what they expect us to believe, man. They expect us to believe all this horrific stuff, man. I mean, you're telling me that a rocket takes off from the surface of the earth, right? Gets farther away from gravity, right? It's in the middle of, between the earth and the moon in cislunar space, right? And yet the earth is going 67,000 miles an hour around the sun, 1,000 miles an hour in a circle, and then hundreds of thousands of miles an hour around the galaxy, right? Like, wouldn't it just leave that rocket like on its way to the moon? And then when you're up in space, how do you turn around or accelerate, right? Because, cars need the road, boats need water, the airplanes need the air, right? With no air to for resistance, how do you turn around? Hey, make it your home. How you doing? And so it's crazy, right? It's crazy what they want you to believe. And it makes sense, right? Because you're like, oh, I believe in God, right? And they're like, oh no, we were up there with a rocket, and we were everywhere. It's infinity, and there's nothing up there. No God, nothing. I mean, that's sick, man. That's just sick. And of course, only 500 people in the world have ever gone past 400 miles, from the Earth's surface, right? This is what they say, right? I don't think anybody's been up that high, but they're saying only 500 people, have been up there. But you got to take our word for it. Here's a picture of the Earth. They show us this perfect circle, right? And then they tell you that it's a pear shape. It's a oblate spheroid when they show us perfect circles. Hey, Shannon. Yeah, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Do I have YouTube up? Okay. This is what I'll do, Shannon. I'll give that account right there a wrench. That way you can get your thing started. If I could figure this out. I hope it's not kicking me off the stream. Is it kicking me off the stream, guys? Oh man, it's gonna kick me off the stream. Oh wait, it's open. Hold on. It's open. Okay, hold on. Where's the thing? I don't see it though. Um oh, here it is. It's way behind. Okay. All right. So that account has a wrench, but then you could get your channel started. Did it kick me off the stream? Am I back? Yeah, I want you to stay. I want everyone to stay. Okay, so I'm good now? All right. So anybody that's doing um what do you call it? Anybody that's doing content, right? Let me know. Okay, I'll put a thing up in the community tab. Let me know, and then we're gonna start doing the wrenches different. I'm just gonna start giving out more wrenches to people doing channels, and then we'll go from there. And then because like I don't want anyone to feel like alienated or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want anyone to feel like because I want to trust me that I want to give a wrench to everybody. But I think it's good if we're all starting like channels to. But then again, if there's too many, then people get upset at me. I can't make everybody happy. I don't even know what to do with it. It's a mess, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know how to handle it. But it means it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? I just want to let you guys know that it doesn't mean I care more or less about anybody. If anything, it's more or less that you have the reputation that could survive banning somebody. Because I know that there's some people here that have been around a long time that if they banned somebody, they would be hated forever. You know, and not it's just because you expect a certain loyalty out of people that you've known a long time, right? And if someone was in that position, right, it's just so rough, man. That's the kind of stuff I think about, man. You know what I mean? That's the stuff that just grieves my spirit, is I want everyone to feel loved. But man, since we were kids, man, being taught this, everything exploded out of nowhere, and we're flying around on a space ball. There was all these big lizards running around, and then we come from a monkey. But when you tell somebody, "Hey, I think that there was a horse with a horn on it," because it's in the Bible, right? The unicorn, right? Or it doesn't even say horse; it just says unicorn, right? And so it's like, oh yeah, a one horned horse is ridiculous. But coming from a monkey is not ridiculous. Or a giant human being 10 feet or 12 feet high is ridiculous. But you know everything exploding out of nowhere is not ridiculous. Because in order to have what we have now, you have to have all the stuff, yes, right? The earth and like all the stuff that we have, right? The physical stuff. But you also have to have the place to put it, you know? Yeah, I know exactly. That's what we need to do, man, is stand on the word of God, man. We need to stand on the word of God. That's everything, right? If I knew what I know now, right? I would just have my kids read the Bible and never send them to school. That would be the only book they ever get is the Bible. I would teach them math and I'd teach them how to read, of course, and teach them how to write, which is something most of the world doesn't know how to do anymore. But I'm starting to lose that skill, to be honest. But I mean, if I knew the truth from when I was born, right, then it wouldn't be like this, right? I mean, like we wouldn't have this eroded, overstimulated. I mean, just the idea, like, people they're out all night, they're up all night, right? There's all this artificial light everywhere, right? I mean, it used to be when the sun left, right? You went to bed, man, and you got enough sleep, and you woke up the next day in a good mood, and you worked your little, however much you have to work for there to be enough, food for everybody. With some you're able to store some away, right? And then everyone sat around and told stories, right? I mean, that to me, that sounds like a good life to be. I mean, going to the club and going to the movies, right? That doesn't sound like fun to me as much as sitting around telling stories and, somebody finding a way to make a guitar or make some kind of instrument, sing songs, right? Some homemade banjo, you know what I mean? And you could pass it down through, like, generations of your family. It's like, what's that? Oh, some instrument my great granddaddy made. We all learned how to play it. That would be amazing, no? But I guess we lose all of the things, like, that we're good at, right? The thing that makes us special, right? Like, say one person can lift a lot of stuff, right? One person is good at planting a good crop or whatever, or one person's good at entertainment, one person's good at telling stories and keeping records or whatever. Like, everyone had their skill that made them special. Now it's like nobody knows how to sew or hunt or fish or anything anymore. I mean, some people still do, right? But it's not getting passed down, right? I didn't teach my kids that stuff, and I regret it. I mean, I regret it, and and these are things that we need to know, right? As these are things that we need to know as people, right? To survive. Now we're all dependent on each other, right? Instead of being dependent on ourselves or our small family unit. Hey Tom, what's going on, brother? And so it's just crazy, right? Like, and when you start off being, like, lied to so much, right? Oh, here, let me read this. Is that Psalms right there? Psalms 29:6. He maketh them able to skip like a calf. Lebanon and Sirion like a young unicorn. Yeah. Psalms 29:7. The voice of the Lord divideth. Yeah, they make it sound like a one-horned animal is, like, ridiculous, but they could tell you about a stegosaurus, with spikes on its tail and spikes all over its back, right? Well, how do these things reproduce, Like, if there's all these spikes all over it, right? Like, I mean, see, that's crazy, man. And then you have then you have death before sin, right? Because death is a punishment, is a judgment from sin, right? Like, Adam wasn't going to die. As long as he could get to that tree of life, he was going to live forever. It was conditional that he eat from that tree, right? But, like, everyone was made to live forever. They weren't made to die. But then after the sin, then death came into the picture, right? We couldn't live forever like this. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11, Beloved, I urge you as sojourners and exiles to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. 12, keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers they may seek your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. Yeah, that's kind of like be all things to all people, you know. You know, try to keep your conduct honorable amongst their little group, right? So that they will see your example, right? And glorify God. Because if we go there like making fun of their traditions and go there picking on the way they live, right? Then it's not going to have as good of effect, right? I know. One-horned animals, how silly. I know. Rhinos are actually alive? What? It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. So tomorrow, now that I got you both here, tomorrow, um, Shannon and Tom are going to be on tomorrow morning. And then I think Faith, you're going to be on Friday. I can't remember now. And then tomorrow I have Jake. Tomorrow Jake in the afternoon. So it'll be great. What is y'all saying? What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but think about all the crap we're taught, you know. Now what they're teaching kids is horrific, man. I mean, it was kind of weird that there was like, you know, sex education when I was in school, right? Because they taught about like diseases and like protecting yourself and all that kind of stuff. Because of course, when I was a kid, you know, came out, and that was, I mean, they talk about scary, right? Because we didn't know how you could catch it when it first came out, you know. And they were, you know, went to school with Lysol and all that, squirting the toilet seats, you know, because they thought you can get it from doorknobs and toilet seats. I mean, now that's fear, you know what I mean? And, you know, now you don't even hear about AIDS anymore. It's so weird that, you know, media attention could make something way more scary than it is, or who knows, right? Like, I don't know, right? I don't know, like, psychologically how they propagate stuff, you know. You said your mom and you got into an argument about the unicorn references in the Bible. She was laughing at me saying, I have read the Bible for years and there's no unicorns. Yeah. Well, that's one of the debunks that these people say about the Bible. So that was like one of the things I looked into. Because like I went down the rabbit hole of which God is the real God. I mean, that's a crazy one to go down. I wish I didn't, but I'm kind of glad I did, in the sense that I know now for sure, you know. But it was very scary time, you know, because I wanted it to be Jesus was God. I wanted that to be true, you know. And it's hard when you want something to be true and something looks compelling against it, you know. Then you start getting mad, you know. And so, but I'm glad that I know what I know now, you know. There's no doubts in my heart now that Jesus is our Lord and Savior. There's no doubts anymore. And so it's an easy leap of faith now. Like, whereas before, you know, you really don't know, right? Because you think that all these things that we're taught are true. So you think, oh, well, there's all these things that still need to be reconciled. Like, how were things, you know, created, and what did come first, or, you know, what history is, you know. But now with all these questions about history and science being just straight lies every time you scrutinize any of it, now it's just no doubt. It's no doubt that the Bible is the truth. And anything, like, anything against the Bible now, I'm just automatically assuming is a lie. And it didn't used to be like that. I used to go, I wonder which one is true, you know? And now I feel embarrassed for even saying that. I feel embarrassed that I ever thought that, you know? And it's a hard admission, right? To say that at one point I held up a science book and a Bible and said, I'm not sure which one is true. And that's embarrassing to me, you know? And, you know, if you guys have ever been in that situation, you're not alone, you know? Now it's obvious, right? The word of God is the truth, you know? Anything outside of that canon, right, is secondary or just a straight lie, right? But imagine all the children out there that are in that same position holding both books, right? If they can even get access to a Bible anymore. I mean, you can, right? But I mean, what are the odds that someone's going to be giving kids Bibles nowadays, you know? It's absolutely backwards. And there is people out there right now holding both books saying which one is true. And that is so sad. Because if we knew the truth from the beginning, there'd be no doubts, right? There'd be no doubts. You would know who the hero of the world is, right? You would know who the biggest celebrity. I mean, people scream for Michael Jackson, right? The reaction for Jesus should be 20 times that. You know, and I'm embarrassed for that too. You know, I'm embarrassed that people scream for celebrities. People even scream for Bill Gates, man. Like he's some kind of hero, man. And you know, people debate whether or not Jesus is even a real person. That it's embarrassing. And you know, I'm just glad that, I mean, for us to even be on this side of things, right, and know what we know, we're very, very blessed. Because we could have been just as brainwashed or messed up as anyone else out there, you know? And see, I think that when I was a little child, I was talking to God, right? Because, like, I was talking to something. I didn't know what it was called, right? But I had no idea that that was God, you know? And then I went to a place where after going to school for a while, even as a young kid, right, going, oh no, it's just impossible, you know? And then like then of course when I joined the army, then it was like, okay, now mortality is a reality. It's time to start figuring out about God, right? Kind of a just in case thing, right? And then you know, once you learn everything's a darn lie, and you know you've been broken down a few times, right? Then it's like, okay, God is real. There's no doubts now. Time to get in line and act right. And I'm still working on it. And I'm still a very long way from what I really want to be. I want to be what God like imagined me to be, you know, like as the best that I could be, but I'm never going to get to that, it seems like, you know. And so I just like rest on the, you know, on the idea that God knows exactly where we would be at this time and not to worry and just to do our best and believe, right? So on that note, guess what time it is? It's time to hit the old dusty trail. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory goes to God because he deserves it. I pray for the children. And yeah, no pancakes for me. Pray for the children, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. California time with Tom and Shannon. All right, bye.